5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.
Morning, Grenada.
Oh, you're looking for that one local supermarket.
Good morning, Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, North America, Europe, Asia, and to all our Take 5 fans this morning. And at last but not least, let me say good morning to my partner in crime, Jester, and my other partner in crime, Roy. Good morning to you both. How are you guys doing?
Good morning. I'm fine.
You sure you're fine? Okay, Roy, Jester, are you fine?
Claire, good morning to you. Good morning to the listeners and viewers of this program.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to be here for yet another Tuesday for the mental health program.
Yes. And let me say good morning to Marlon Klein. He says CJ and Jester, and to all the Take 5 viewers and listeners, have a wonderful and prosperous day today. Thank you, Marlon. Let me tell you, he is one person that is always, always on the live. I I have never met him, but I see what he looks like. And let me say thank you to you, Marlon.
Thank you,
Jester,
Marlon.
I'm opening up the floor for you this morning again. I'm not greedy. Tell your peeps good morning.
Let me start with Miss Celia Roberts, the Hill Street people in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
And I happened to see the lady, the goodly lady in the bank one day. It was, after she did her business,
Mm-hmm.
the lady take a pen and juke with me back. You understand what I say?
She's a
So
terrorist.
I tell her that there are cameras in here, so we have evidence.
Okay.
So okay,
I saw her
we take it from
yesterday
there.
also.
Take it from there.
Next.
Garden Bushes with Chetson, like boy, Alistair Aitu Dubois, Wayne Ted John, Andy Moose, Bartholomew, yeah, Claire in Mahu, the Glean family out there in Boston, yeah, originally from Mali,
Okay.
yeah.
And Roy, who do you want to say good morning to?
I just want to say good morning to the listening public.
In general.
Sure. Good morning.
Oh,
Fine.
gosh, that takes care. You can't fault that takes care of everyone.
But I still have to say good morning to special people. Good morning to Alvin Harris, listening out there from New York, New York. He's there. And Williams Broadcast, which is Weaves. He says, good morning, God's people. We are online and live. Let me tell you, I cannot stop saying good things about this gentleman. I've never met him, but he gives us all the kudos that we need
Yeah.
so that people will listen. And
Trust me.
2025, this is the year he's going to bring his transmitter up to Kublau, because right now he's in Grenada.
Yeah.
He's going to bring it up one to Kublau, so we will all hear in St. Patrick's when Take 5 is on the AIR. I spelled that right? Not EAR, no?
Careful with spelling.
So let me say good morning to Marlon Klein again. Good morning to Faithlin, Holly Douglas, the movie star from up there. She's online also. Good morning to you. Good morning to Coffee in the Morning. Good morning, Daphne Date and family out there in Toronto. The Hill Street people, just as you do commit pen. I don't know about that. Olavachi, buongiorno. NP, good morning. Lorna Bain in Toronto. It is cold like there in the north. Good morning to Mary in Toronto also. Junior on top of the hill out there in Grandytown. Alvin Harris, New York. Good morning to Duchess. Hope all is well. We should be hearing from you this morning because everybody loves when you make your comments. Because
and this topic is very interesting.
It's very interesting. Good morning. Good morning to Trisha Ganes. Good morning to Mr. Nicholas Snag. Good morning to Kenro. Good morning to Bandy. Pat Pear, good morning to you. William Pear and Hubby, good morning to you. Good morning to SBW, wherever you are. Buddy in the trap over there, good morning to you. Antonia Francois, Young Song, the Cashew Tree Crew, Paula, Sharon, Mama B, good morning, Anne Bernard, good morning, and also Radio Man. Good morning to Terry, St. John, Philip, out there in Maryland. And good morning to Wendy out there in Toronto. If I missed anybody, tell yourself good morning. Good morning. You coming from us.
So, I want to tell you something wrong with you. Sure.
Nothing is wrong with me, Jester. I am just, how they call it, the dopamine. I always have that. And my endorphins, they're always out there jumping up. So I ought to be the person that I am. I'm not pretending to be who I'm not. This is the real deal, the real McCoy. So if you all cannot handle us, I'm too bad for I'm call 1-800.
Oh, gosh.
Tough luck. So what's up and about, Jester?
Well, what's up? We're into the 2025 start to it's unfolding itself before us. We're into the athletic season now. So we will have quite a lot of schools start gearing up. I think the first school of the parish that will be having their sports will be the River Sally Government School.
And accuracy, it's like real fast. I look at was it last year when we went to sports, and I look at the little one. Remember when we went to that sport meeting, Roya, and we saw that little thing, and I'm like, Roya, do you see speed? Like they are speed demons. So I'm looking forward to this year's sports. How the playground is in for coming along, Jester?
Well, they have resumed work there.
Is it going to be ready for McDonald College and so? That's in March.
Our fingers crossed based on the information gathered. But schools like St. Patrick's RC and Anglican, certainly I don't think they would have it ready for them.
We have a playing field right there,
Plains now.
What you mean plains now? Don't let me take offense on that. I take it serious, so don't let me get ethnic on the plains. And they come and play football. They have tracks there for children to train, and why can't they?
Age, there is no washroom facilities. There is no place.
And whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? I've been clamoring for this.
Successive governments of the past.
And not the present. What about the sports
committee? Well, this present, I mean,
what about the sports committee in St. Patrick? Yeah, Jester. What about you all in St. Patrick, the sports committee?
Well, as you know, the sports committee, we recently get our approval by cabinet, which was approved on the 23rd of September. And we are making strides because we already have an office assigned to us in St. Patrick. And all of the councils of the different parishes, offices are being organized. So things are happening.
Okay. So, Brian, nothing happening down your way? That's a no. You're taking too long to answer me. I saw what's going on in my neck of you. They had a football match Sunday. I don't know who played, one in red, one in yellow. That's all I think.
Maybe it's the GFA Premier League that must have resumed.
Because when I am in VIP stand up there, I could see everything, I looked to see if I see you. I didn't see him. He didn't come this time for me to follow Jester and wave for him. I didn't see him this time.
But wait, did you bake?
If I bake?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with you? If I bake?
Oh, that is happening. St. January will be having the annual fair.
Okay. When?
On the 31st of January.
January?
Okay. 31st. And they usually have it on Independence. They change from that.
Because Independence, I think Tivoli is having harvest. I overheard some people saying Tivoli is going to have harvest on the 7th of February.
They usually have it that time too.
But maybe they do it that way because sometimes they have no sound. Remember? No amplified music. So maybe they they jump the gun and take doing it this earlier.
But just going back to the sport, one thing that I'm not comfortable with is that there is a clash of the athletics meet between two schools, which would be St. Patrick's RC and Montrose SDA Primary. Now the thing is, what we did, and based on my understanding, St. Patrick's RC will be going to Hermitage. Now the thing is, St. Patrick's RC, they usually have their sports on the first Friday of February. However, this time, unfortunately, it falls on Independence Day. So they cannot have it. So they decided to bring it the day before, which would be the 6th. And that's where the clash come and takes place with Montrose SDA Primary.
So they could do it as a mini intercom?
And it seems that both of the schools are not willing to give in, based on, and that is just so sad because while they might be thinking, well, Montrose is thinking, well, that's originally that's our date, and we never change from that. It's difficult now for you to come and take the 6, and we now have to move. So they looking at it from that standpoint. However, my concern is that the officials, because in ordinary circumstances, when it's just once put in the parish, officials sometimes turning up is really a problem.
Okay.
And to having that clash on that day, I know that that will be a serious challenge.
Okay. Okay.
So
So, we did not
I
get
just hope good sense prevail and one at the end of it all will be willing to have a compromise.
we did not get our prayer call this morning. Coffee, where are you? Coffee is supposed to be calling in and pray. Come on, Coffee, call in, call in. We're not hearing you. We're Coffee Day. Go ahead, Coffee, call in. Call. Like Miss Cleo say, call me.
If
404-1189.
if anything, you're I will please pray.
Coffee is there. He's going to call in.
So, welcome to Jester this morning.
Coffee, call in. I'm waiting. Here comes Coffee. Good morning.
Good morning, Coffee. Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning,
Good morning to you.
Jester.
Good morning to you.
Yes, and yeah, happy New Year at the same time.
Yes.
It's not too late.
No.
So a pleasant good morning to you all and you all listeners. Let us just go ahead as we pray. Father, we thank you. We do recognize that this is the day that you has made, and we will rejoice and be glad. We do thank you for the rising of the sun. And by faith, we believe the going down will be the same. I bring Clay and Jester before you, O God, with a mental health program. Father, each day that they continue on this program, grant them the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding as they continue to facilitate so much a wonderful program. I'm asking you, God, to open the ears of the listeners that they themselves, oh God, who go through sometimes mental health stress. I'm asking you, God, to open the ears that they can be able to learn and they can be able to know how to deal with the situation as it relates to mental health. I'm asking you, God, to open up each and every one of us understanding. It's a program that touches the heart of men and women here, there, and everywhere. Continue to give Jester and Claire, oh God, the strength, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding as they have to continually prepare for this program. Bless them and give them grace to stand. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. God bless you, Claire and Jester.
Thank
I
you.
will sing to you.
Yeah.
Yes, listen and
All
call
right,
us
bye-bye.
because what we're talking about
Yes.
this morning is involving YouTube. I didn't say YouTube, YouTube.
Wonderful. Great.
All right, take care. Later.
Thank you.
So
Bye-bye.
we got to give out the number more regularly throughout the program this morning, man.
The number to call is, what is the number, Jester?
I wish I knew that. I can't remember. I don't want to quote her. You see, and I don't want to quote her.
404-1189. And you can call it straight or you can call it by WhatsApp. Let me say good morning to Mary Olovachi, Chance the Game in Toronto. Joycelyn Noel says good morning and good morning to the special guest she is saying. Good morning to Lorna Bain. She says good morning to Jester. And it is 8, like EIGHT degrees in CO at the moment. So they're freezing the buns and everything out. 8. Sorry, guys. I am in heat down here. Something like that. What? They think I don't know why I was running away from winter? I could go for the summer. They said, well, why you leave summer down there and come up in summer? I said, I know why. Because as soon as September and October, jump in the plane, back to the heat. I cannot deal with this cold anymore. And I know Lana is waiting for the day when she can just come and join me in the heat. There are a few of them. Jenny is waiting for the day. Denise is waiting for them. Annie, we're going to have one big summer party, let me tell you. Not invited, Jester.
Yeah. Well, who said I want to be there?
Oh, you want to be there. Lana is coming, you want to be there. Jenny is coming, you want to be there.
Oh my gosh. What?
Rice, you want to be any? You see, Rice, I don't take my friends away from here, and those that are in North America.
Sure, believe that.
Jenny, you want? Oh, Jenny, I got to meet you because I hear you could cook. Jenny. Then Lorna, he met Lorna, and Lorna become his bestest friend. Now come to those children, his bestest friend now. You want to just bowl me, but as I say, that ain't happening because I am not insecure. I am sure about my fivers, my lifers. Let's go. So,
Let's go into it because just
so this morning we will be talking about is having a favorite child really a bad thing? And does it have a mental impact on the child or children involved? So I am a, let me say it, I don't want to say a parent because that's another word. I am a parent. Just, Roya, you are a parent. Just, are you a parent?
clear.
Yes, Jester.
You don't know that I'm a parent?
You are, oh, sorry. A parent. He's a parent.
I'm a very good father. One thing, I always father me.
I said a parent. I said you are asking if you are a parent. You tell me, and you know I'm a parent. Of course you're a parent. You're sitting in front of me there talking about a parent.
One of the better fathers.
Go in. Go.
A father that many children would love to have.
Is that right?
Oh yes. Ask any one of my
Oh
children.
yes.
They will tell you.
So the question is it a bad thing to have a favorite child? And if you have other children, how does it impact them? So the question is, what it says, having a favorite child can impact others mentally in several ways. And here are the 4 points. Feeling of rejection and mistrust, seeking support outside the home, development of bad behavior, low self-esteem, and inability to compete. And the part of it that says feeling of rejection and mistrust is other children may feel rejected and mistrust their parents if they perceive favoritism. Seeking support outside the home, non-favorite children may seek support from external sources and become dependent as adults. Development of bad behavior, non-favorite children may exhibit bad behavior to gain attention. Low self-esteem and inability to compete, knowing that the parents somewhat neglect them can lead to low self-esteem and inability to compete. So these are 4 points that they're saying that can affect a child mentally if a parent is showing favoritism. So now, we are talking about a parent by the name of Joanna. And when I'm doing research, regardless of what I'm researching, if there's a story behind it, I want to take this story so that people will know that I'm not making up this for myself, or Jester is not just jumping on the bandwagon with me when I say we're doing this. I find the story. So Joanna knew she had a favorite child from the moment her second son was born. The Kent, UK-based mom says she loves both of her children, but her youngest child just gets her in the way that her firstborn doesn't. For many of us as parents, and listen, today I want full participation because I'm talking to us this morning, parents. And if any one of you tell me all of all the children the same way, you're lying. Lie like a rug. And I'm saying this.
But that's not.
Say that again, Claire?
No,
I said
that is not necessarily true.
if any parents could come call me now and tell me, Claire, I have 5 children and I love all of them just the same, they lie.
That is not true. That's not necessarily true.
Claire.
Okay, I take it back. Let me go deal with it. Well, don't worry.
Is that how you really feel?
Me? Like every parent have a child that they favors?
Yeah.
Well, listen, my daughter, my son was born 8 years, they're 8 years apart, right? So it was all along, it was just him and me. So you know what she called him? She says, oh, mom, your golden boy is calling you. She calls him my golden son. This is not necessarily true that he's my golden son. But to her, because he was first, and he and I have that close bond, she's thinking that I love him more than her. He might be thinking that I love her more than him because we live together, she and I, and we do things together. And so it's a kind of situation that parents have with children, and that's why we're going to talk about it today.
But I think it's based on how on the parents' actions
Yes.
that cause the children to come to that conclusion.
Well, I have no action.
this subject is a very tickly subject.
It is, but that's why we bring out, according to my friend Nicholas Snack, always say, Claire, we have to deal with the uncomfortable topics. Because if we don't, a lot of us are going to be walking around thinking that we are doing the right thing. And we may not necessarily be doing that. So let's talk. So she says when Joanna's first baby was delivered, he was rushed away from her due to a health concern, and she couldn't see him for 24 hours. Missing this valuable bonding period was, she believes, the start to a long lasting preference for her second son, whom she was able to spend time with immediately after he was born. To sum up our relationship, to sum our relationship up, I have made an appointment to speak to my eldest, says Joanna, whose full name is being withheld to protect her children, with my youngest. I could call him at 0230 and he'll drive miles to meet me. My youngest is the nicest guy on the planet. He's caring, generous, courteous, and friendly. He is the kind of person who would help anyone out. Now, all of our children, or most of us as parents that has children, the children will do certain things that makes us happy. Some of us, our children, will do things again that makes us unhappy. But that does not mean that we do not love them. Now I'm putting you on the spot, Jester. You have 5 children.
Probably.
How much children do you have?
I have 3 children. Do not give this falsified information and create wrong impression. Remember, we're going around the globe.
We're going.
Yeah, yeah. This is not just a 3 of us and you're just saying something. You have to be careful of what you say.
Well, incorrect.
I take serious offense to that.
I stand corrected. Jester has 3 children. 3 boys, 3 girls. Okay, what are they?
2 boys, 1 girl.
Okay. So you have 3 children, you have 2 boys and 1 girl. So can I ask you, do you have a favorite in those 3? Don't lie now, your nose growing.
Do I have a favorite?
Yeah, I'm asking that.
No, I don't think. I think
think.
I love all my children
That's what our parents
equally.
say. Mm-hmm.
You know, some may do things that you probably wouldn't feel good about at times,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't give you a reason not to love them equally, just the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I try. I know I'm very cognizant that if you show any bias, favoritism to a child,
Mm-hmm.
you as that parent, that can put you in serious salt water.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that too well from long before.
So the question comes to you, Charles. Do you have a favorite? How many children do you have? 4 or 5?
I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
I would say they're equal,
Mm-hmm.
but I would say that I'm trying to be
Mm-hmm.
to love them on that level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're love and care, it comes into play here.
Mm-hmm.
Love is beyond,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I don't think that a parent should say they don't love their child or their children, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it comes to a point where, when it comes to care, right, you might care about a particular child more than based on the child's ability.
Mm-hmm.
Because, for instance, you may have a child that is the child's mind may be a bit more mature than another child, the other child,
Mm-hmm.
where you might have to always be on the child back and have, you always have to, like to mentor the child and to uplift that child. Whereas the one that is mature, you might just leave him on his own. And he might look at it in a way that mommy is more focusing on this particular child.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not because you don't care, but it's because that child need the extra
attention
and push.
That's you.
The attention, because and that's a good point, Roya raised, because of my 3 children, Remember, Akira is the girl in the media.
I was coming to that. Hold on.
You know, and you know, she will tend to grab my attention much more, and I just can't understand why. But that's just the harsh reality.
Your girl dad, and let me put it this way for you.
Yeah.
Girls are attached to their fathers as boys are attached to their mothers. It is proven. My daughter and her father had the bond beyond what it is. And it's not that she doesn't love me or anything like that, but her father was it for her. She makes chain with a puppy on it and all this kind of thing. And I'm like, wait, no, I'm choppy girl or something. But girls are you remember they called the dub Kobe the girl dad? Because he had 3 girls. And all of those 3 children was like their dad, their daddy, their girls. So girls are attached to their fathers as well as boys are closer to their mothers. And that's why she's calling my son the golden boy. Because he's going to come and say, Mom this and Mom that. Chance the Game says there's always a private, a favorite, but keep in your heart and not from your mouth. We come into that too. And that again, because Scott, thank you so much, because this is a point we are going to bring up here. And that is why we are bringing up this topic today. Because I know to myself, there are a lot of us as parents out there that they show it blatantly and they tell it, oh, that's why I like this one, and that's why you're this, and this is wrong on all counts. Wrong, wrong, wrong.
Yeah.
Now, you know there are people. How many players on a basketball team?
5.
Okay, 5. I did Google it. I just wanted to know if you know. You can wrong me, and I like to be straight up. So there are people. They have a husband and wife. Every time they get pregnant, a boy comes. We could lose Tucky family as that. 5 boys, 6 boys, and they're praying for the girl. Vice versa. A husband and wife, they when they get pregnant, 5 girls, they're going for that boy. Sometimes the boy never come or the girl never come. And sometimes they're fortunate enough to get that one child that they're asking for. And guess what? All the love in the world go towards that child that they were looking for. Is that right? Or is that wrong? Talk to me. People, I need you to call 404-1189. All of us as parents, come and use that phone. Everybody stumped?
Yeah.
Because I'm saying the truth here. I am talking to you. See, in my case, I have one, a boy and a girl. So those of you that have 4 boys and 1 girl, or 2 boys and 1 girl, where is the favoritism there? Is it blatant? And even though you don't come out and say to that child, you know what? I really love you, and so the rest of them, by the action you give to that one child, the rest of them will say, Dad saying that he loves us, but look, he's giving Kira all the love in the world.
Yeah, that's true too.
So we really have to get it down to an art on how to display our affection and our love for our children. As I made the point earlier, sometimes there is a child that needs more care and attention than the rest. Say you have a child, you have a daughter, you have a son that is having a hard time at school learning different things. The rest of them are okay. They do their homework in a flash and they're finished. That child needs special attention. You will sit with that child for hours on end to help him or her to get that homework done. Now, the rest of them seeing that, they're not saying anything, but inside they're feeling, look how much time dad spent with Kira, how much time mom spent with Dejane. So that means she loves her more than me, or she loves. And this is where we as parents have to get our act together and put family meeting. Yes. Family meeting and explain, because if we don't explain, this is where Kaka gonna hit the fan one of these days, and you all wouldn't like what's coming out of it.
Yeah. And in those meetings that you get opportunity to find out, like what they don't like, what they want going forward, what they look forward to. So you could improve on these areas as parents.
Yes.
There are a number of factors that
Tell us too. Going up with number of factors. I think we're getting a call. Good morning, Coffee.
Yeah, coffee in the morning here. Yeah,
Yes.
very, very interesting topic as it relates to favoritism where children is concerned. No, I have a few children well enough, but let me relate to the two children that I have with my wife, Samuel and Cassandra.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to Samuel, that is my wife, Prince. When coming when coming to Samuel, that is my Prince.
Oh.
Does my daughter Cassandra have a problem with that? No, because after we explained to her
Mm-hmm.
the situation with Samuel, when Samuel was born and before Samuel was born, she have to join with us and say, yes, that is your prince in Judea. So whenever we hear and Samuel coming in with his vehicle, she say, Mama, look at your prince coming, you know. Look at you, because she understand why that is her prince.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when she come from what she says, I see you prince in Grenville. And every time you see me coming and touch me head, I know it's a money you want. I give you prince of $50. You understand?
Yes.
She says sometimes a day in me uniform. He day in uniform, he keep in traffic, and as soon as he see me, you know, when she was small, he have a false name. He just call her Spoonhead.
Mm-hmm.
And up to now, anytime you see a Spoonhead, she say, come on, is a dollar you want the money. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But the most important thing here is educate. Listen,
Hmm.
I love all my children 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what happened? I appreciate some of them more than the other
Right.
because of the attitude, because the way that we relate to them. I have more appreciation,
Mm-hmm.
one more than the other. And they will understand that. Not all my children are big children. And let me tell you something, Coffee. As big as my children are, I don't care what work they doing. They always Brooks. Daddy, why you have, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Big man, big woman. Some of them married. Daddy have Brooks. I say, come. It's the relationship that exists between yourself and your children.
Mm-hmm.
And parents, you have to be very careful when coming to favoritism.
Yes.
You have to know how to do this thing, you know. Otherwise, this thing is a time bomb ready to explode.
Yeah.
So it boils down to education.
Okay. Yes.
I rest my case.
Thank you. Well said.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well said by
This is what we are trying to
Paula.
bring out this morning. The education, because as I said earlier, you have to have that family meeting. If you don't, and this thing keep going, and you see the thing about it, their children, they are reclusive. And some of them are inclusive. They keep it inside.
And some never forget.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And some become rebellious as well.
Well, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Can you blame them?
No, of
Can you
course
blame
not.
them?
Of course not.
So that's where it comes, as he says, education, and this is what we as parents have to do, because if we don't, and then something happened to you as a parent now, and they call, oh, Claire, something wrong with your mother, call that one.
Yes.
Why are you calling me? This is the one that is a favorite. Call her.
But in the situation as the last caller explained, it takes a really good knitted family, right,
Close-knit
to
family.
have the sort of outcome that he make mention of, actually. Because I'm telling you, if you don't have that gel, right, that close bond, maybe
No, I don't know.
maybe Samuel's sister would not understand.
No. I'm not going to say it this
I
way.
think his personality. The
Yes.
person makes the difference. The parent makes the difference, because there are parents who co-parent with another parent, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the children's sake, and they have a good relationship with that child.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So the family don't have to be gel together.
They don't have to be close, because you can okay, and then you have family that are together, Jester, and there's more war inside that was taking place in Russia and Ukraine. I'm telling you. So it's
I
not.
can see how they could be close and having a war.
What?
That is.
And husband and wife inside the house and they having war. Jester.
Well,
What are you talking about?
How close? Well, to me.
Let me read that comment. I sent a message before Roya spoke, and it goes like this: I have no favorite. I have 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls, same amount of love I have for them. It's just that some children needs more, and it's true. We keep making that point. Some children needs more love, more attention, more attention
Yes.
than anything. So just if you have children, and sometimes some of us have brothers and sisters all over the place like rice and peas, right? And we have different parents and so. But do you know? Repair services, we offer digitally calibrated machines. Do you know that some of the children that is not belonging to your mother and father, you're really close with them. And guess what? It's because of the attitude and the rapport that you have with them, that you gel together with those. You have how many brothers and sisters?
I have, let me see, 4 sisters and 5 boys of mine. So 9 of us.
9 of you.
together.
And all 9 of you close?
Of course we are.
Right. And are you all staying together?
No, we're not. We are not.
My point exactly. I just proved the point to you that you don't have to be in the same place to gel with your siblings or to gel with children. You see, parents have to know that who their children are and what it is that they need to bring them together. That's the whole key. So she's saying, though she says, though she battled her feelings for years, Joanna says now she's in a place of acceptance. I could write a book on why I love one more than the other, she says. It's been hard, but I haven't got any guilt. She says, unlike Joanna, most parents' favoritism is subtle and goes undiscussed. Having a favorite child might be the greatest taboo of parenthood. Yet, research shows that the majority of parents do indeed have a favorite. I said that earlier. The majority of parents do have a favorite child, with plenty of evidence to suggest that being the least favored child can fundamentally shape the personality and lead to intense sibling rivalries. It's no wonder that parents might worry about letting their preferences slip. And a lot of us, we don't let it slip. We say it loud. It's not a slip of the tongue at all. Yet, research also shows that most kids can't tell who their parent's favorite child really is. The real issue then is how parents manage their children's perception of favoritism. So, a lot of children can tell who mommy love more or who daddy love more because daddy is subtle about it. He's not putting it out there. Well, I love John because John can go and play football with me in the evening. Or mommy wouldn't say, I love Roya because we could go to the mall and discuss fashion and so. Everybody is on the same level playing field because they can control it. They're not letting it slip. But the moment you let it slip, that I love this one more than ever. Are we getting a call? I love my parents today, boy. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
You see what I tell you when I tell you what to take my friend and then for me, what's smile? Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
Trouble is that.
Don't take her on, Jester.
Don't you think you'll find her looking stress free?
Yes, I said so. So on the topic, I would agree that some parents, I would not say all parents, but I would say some parents do have favorites. And perceptions of favoritism, it can have a lasting mental toll on families. And this is according to a 20-year-old studies, which follow parents and their adult children. And it can also cause sibling rivalry if it's not handled correctly. Now, I am from a large family, and both my parents had a favorite. My mom was more blatant with her favorites, while my dad was more diplomatic. And I was my mom's favorite.
So, come on.
And Why was I my mom's favorite? I think we had a lot of qualities, similar qualities. And then I think I had more sympathy for my mom because I was from a large family. My parents, mom and dad, 8 girls. And then I used to think, my mom has so much to do. So I was more like sympathetic towards her and I would do a lot of things to make things easier for her. So we had this kind of bond. So I became her favorite. And I have to say, I'm grateful to my siblings because they knew I was my mom's favorite. That they took it lightly. Now, how do I know that they take it lightly? I'll just give you one instance. We all had to go to Tennessee in 2016 for a wedding. My nephew was getting married. And four of my sisters, three came from Grenada, one from Atlanta. And they all got there before me. And we rented a place to stay. Now, I was the last getting there from Canada, and they left the best room for me. So when I got there and I realized that, I said, why did you guys leave the best room for me? I came last, right? My sister Gemma, probably you guys know Gemma Bain Thomas, that's my sister.
Yeah.
She answered and she said, they cannot treat Ma Bain, who we call, that's my mom, queen, any different. Yeah, so that's the reason why they left the
best room for you.
best room. And I was talking to my last sister just last week. We had a laugh because let's say she's the baby of the family. One year I came home and she invited me to go out with her. So I went out with her and we stayed out the whole night. We came home outside bright daylight. We get home. My mom is sitting in the veranda. She's looking out. Who is she looking out for? She's looking out for me because she doesn't know if I was able to keep up with Janice. She's not concerned. And Janice would say, see, I was the last in the family and she's not even concerned about me. She's concerned about you. So I'm grateful that they take it lightly. Even now, sometimes they teasing me, call me Queen Lorna. Only because of my mom. And it's not that my mom gave me anything different. Well, sometimes when I think of the things she did, yes, it was very blatant that they would know, I am the favorite. But I'm grateful to them. I think it's how you react because I never really kind of rub it in the face, oh, I'm my mom's favorite.
Right.
And it's how the siblings react that would make it work out. But most families, yeah. My dad was more diplomatic. I was not his favorite. We all knew who was his favorite. But if you asked him, he would say he didn't have a favorite because he really tried to treat all of us, to get to know each one of us and to treat us differently. But my mom was very blatant about it and everyone knew. So it's up to parents because my siblings could have reacted differently and it could have a different outcome. There could have been resentment and. So it's up to parents. If you have a favorite, sometimes you can't help having a favorite. It's how you display it and how you treat everybody else in the family.
Thank you so
yes,
very much.
Some parents do have a favorite.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Day.
Bye.
Call again if you
Thanks
have
for
another
your
point.
contribution.
Call. I need parents this morning. Thank you.
404-1189.
You got it, boy. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. Jester. Are you looking for that one local supermarket where you can purchase all your grocery and household items at the same time? Well, look no further. Smart Buy SA Belfon and Company Limited, located at the top of the town on Main Street, St. Patrick, is the ideal spot. They're open Sunday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturdays, and 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Sundays, just for your convenience. Call them today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. We're shopping snacks at Snack Buy.
At Sugar's Repair Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473 418 1845. Sugar's Repair Services, located at Lower Marley, St. Patrick. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester. We are back with parents showing favoritism to their children. Coffee, just when we went on commercial break, you did call. I'm not sure if you wanted to talk about what the lady said in reference to her father being diplomatic about the children and who the favorite is. So give us a call and let me know what your thoughts are on it. So now we talked about how Joanna said she has no guilt whatsoever that she loved her second child. So here, next topic is Coffee is calling back. Go ahead, Coffee.
Yes. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear, pun intended.
Yes, and very good point that the last caller made before I come in. Because I'll tell you something. My mother had five of us, two boys and three girls. And out of the five of us, she had a princess in the midst. That one name is Lonnie. That was the princess. This one never ever get lash. We get enough blows. We eat enough blows. There are times when we get blows so, and the same one that she loves so much we stay in a can and make monkey choose give us when we get big blows. That is not fair. So we were planning now. Anytime we mother go to Grenville, we're going to hold her in a corner and give her some blows out of what the mother give us. But when we mother come back and she make report, we dead, you know. You understand? So after years and years and years and years, she get the opportunity to travel to New York. And to avoid those blows, up to now she treat us like prince and princess because we head cannot cut us. I get more pants, I get more shoes, I get because she didn't used to get blows. But when we mom died and my sister was doing the urology, and I heard my sister Nisha said, Lynette is here with us for a mom funeral. And that was the favorite. And that is the one that never get blues. I tell Nisha, no, it's the best time for we to be in the church. Because we mother there. So we have to be very careful. Where favoritism is concerned, we have to create the level playing field.
Yes.
How do you have a blessed day?
Thank you, thank you. And let me tell you, with things like that, you're giving blows, and you don't care if you get blows afterwards because you get the satisfaction of putting blows into skin as it is already. But you see, that's the thing. We as parents have to really, really, really try to do what is right in the eyes of our children. Because when if they turn bad on us, I'm telling you, the hatred that they have and the animosity that they hold inside there, you could just make the simplest mistake. And let me tell you, you're getting it. They have no qualms about telling you don't care about me, you know nothing about me, don't come and say anything to me because when I needed you, you were not there. Good morning, Jenny Mason. Jenny just came on. She must have just come back from walking or something like that. Jenny, the topic is favoritism in children with parents. So listen up and give me a call when we make a point that you think you can contribute to. So level playing, I mean, not level playing favorites now. Not every parent has a favorite child, but many do, says Jessica Griffin, an associate professor of psychiatry and pediatrics at the University of Massachusetts Medical School in the United States. Data suggests that mothers, in particular, show favoritism to children who have similar values to them and that engage more with family over qualities such as being highly ambitious or career driven. Regardless of the reason, some research shows many parents almost certainly do have favorites, whether they admit it or not. In one study, up to 74% of mothers and 70% of fathers in the UK have been shown to exhibit preferential treatment towards one child. Yet, for most, the topic remains off limits. In other research, when parents were surveyed, just 10% admitted to having a favorite child, suggesting that for most mothers and fathers, feelings of favoritism remain a tightly held family secret. Now, tell me that what I was saying earlier is not true. Tell me. I'm listening because when I said that, both of you said, I don't think that this is the right thing. And I said, I'm coming. And you see, I came because this research and study shows that this is what really happens. So hit me according to Peer Punch.
Yeah, but you gotta be, even if, as Lorna say, like her dad, right? He was a bit more diplomatic in handling the situation. Deep down inside, you probably, yes, may tend to have a favorite, but you have to be real diplomatic and as to how you handle a situation. Because trust me, if you be too blatant in dealing with children, man, this thing could blow up into your face.
Right.
And it's not nice.
But as I said earlier, sometimes they don't have to say anything. Just the action alone tells that he is dad's favorite or she's mom's favorite. Just the action. Because let me tell you, what is in here? Where your heart is, on the right or the left?
Inside your body.
On the left.
Well, what is inside here does not hide. It comes out some way or the other, one way or another. It's going to come out that you have a favorite, that you love one more than the other. You choose to do things differently with that one. Because tell me, if your son or your daughter is giving a bit of an issue at home, you would not, and I'm telling you, would not be the parent that when they see that child, oh, they happy, oh, John is home, come join this and that. Whereas if Julian comes home, we flute, smiles, how was your day, baby? What did you do? Who did you see? So just by asking those simple questions, you're already exhibiting who your favorite child is, or who do you have? Or more than, some of them have more than one favorite. Not one, some have more than one. They may try to say, well, I give love to each and every one of them. But is that for real? Is that for real?
I'm still sticking on the point that all parents love their children, but the care is the care. That's where the favoritism kind of shows up,
Care and attention.
right? I don't know if you hear old people say that me either showing love and attention. I've given my children the same amount of love because I don't know who will look for me at the end, right? And that is a true saying because you give that particular child so much love and attention when you're up and about, and before something happens to you, that child just turning their back, and then society looking at that child as ungrateful, you know, not knowing that like what happened inside the household.
In Africa, families make a lot of children, and there's a method to that madness. One of that 14 children is going to stand up to look after that parent. That's the thing behind having all the children. It's not that they want to make all the children to say, well, I have 14 children. They are looking for that one child or that 2, 3 children that will stand up if something go wrong with them, to know that they've got my back. And then you see a parent that has just one child, one, single, uno, numero, uno, one. I could speak Spanish, you didn't know? Jester. Brian, I could speak Spanish, you. One.
Just continue program.
Yeah. One child. And they give that child everything on the planet Earth. And guess what? Something happened to that parent. That parent gets sick. And they call on that child and say, you know, look, I'm going through this. And, can you help me? Guess what you get in? I did not ask you to bring me here. It was your choice to bring me here. I don't have to do this. You know how hurtful that could be to that parent that gave it all to that child? And sometimes if they have two children and they still give that one everything of the two. And the one that you suffer is the one that will stand with you.
Yes. Yeah.
So I know that subject this morning is not an easy one for any one of us to deal with. But I'm putting it out there because we are all in that boat sailing. All of us. So when we talk about things like that, we have to know, Jester and Roy, that we need to make the change if we are doing that to our children. That I've seen so many times that one child syndrome. Some of us buy the love of that one child because you go to work and the child is at the babysitter. You go to work, the child goes to school, the child come home, you're not there. You come home on the evenings, you're too tired to do anything with that child. So, honey, the latest iPhone is out. Do you want it? Well, of course, yes, mom. Yes, dad. Honey, Christmas is coming. Do you see any toy that you want? They don't care how much it is. They buy because this is the way you're compensating for the love that you are not giving to them. And at the end of it all, they really actually do not care for any of this material thing that you gave to them. What do you think they're craving? Your love, your attention. You could buy an airplane for them and tell them fly to the moon. They don't care. Because if you're not going to the moon with them and you're just sending them alone, what difference does it make? I'm sitting and my heart is hurting. I'm saying all of this because all of us as parents made these mistakes with our children. And today is the day that you're going to change how you deal with your children. If it's one point we make here, one that makes the difference in how we treat our children, make that one point work for you.
Yes, in some instances, it's clear some parent favor a child so much that they actually spoil them from in a negative way it turned out to be.
Mm-hmm. And they don't only show it when inside the house. They go to school, when they reach the workforce, they show it in the workforce. They think that the world is they're obligated to do whatever it is that they ask you to do. They are entitled.
They become selfish.
Yes. If you go to the job and they say, well, John, can you do this? Oh, you didn't hire me to do this. And I don't have to take this. I don't have to do this. You cannot tell me, do you know who I am? And this is what we as parents created.
Yes,
those monsters.
It affects them in the wider world because if, for instance, you know, at home, the parent didn't or the mother didn't guide the child to do household duties. You don't expect the child to get married and want to do household duties.
Not at all. And again, we as parents, what we do, everything, then we're lifting a nail Jester. They throw the dish they're even going in the kitchen, under the bed inside the room. You go and you pick it up as though you're the slave or the servant for them. You pick it up, you put it in not even saying, well, you eat, I'm missing that glass. Who have it in their room? Somebody will say, oh, I have it. Well, bring it in. Not that you're passing like you are the child slave and you're doing everything. You're washing, you're cooking, you're cleaning, their clothes is iron, they go in and they just walk out that house. How do you expect to to get a balanced person at the end of the day? How?
It's not going to happen. Like children come out to school, right, where they change their clothes, they leave it on the floor, and you go in and pick it up. And no.
Look, I used to buy toys. Wrong. I used to buy toys for those that I have at home. And when you turn toys all over the place, you kick your toe, fling in this and you go. I say, what if you all make me dead? I'm killing all you know. And then you're not killing them because. And after a while, I said there were bins for those toys. I said, pick it up. Don't let me see one. You cannot play with all the toys at the same time. We get a call coming in. Hola. Good morning, buongiorno. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Answer me in Italian. I said buongiorno.
How are you?
I am good, I'm good. Go right ahead. You're on air.
All right. Okay, I have a little to share. Okay, it's about favoritism. Buongiorno, my love.
Yes. Turn your TV down. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you and you're hearing me.
So turn on the TV.
Turn it down.
Okay.
Turn it off.
Okay,
Because
yes.
we're getting the
Okay.
feedback.
Okay. Okay, hear me?
Yes, go right ahead.
All right. I'm a victim of that thing.
Mm.
You know, my mother has 10 of us, right? And for some reason, my siblings thought I was the favorite.
Mm.
And that is because I never got in anybody's way. You understand? I never did anything bad, so I never got a beating for that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But anyway, one of my sisters, they hated me so much. They hated me. I knew they hated me, but I ignored that as a small child. It happened like in one particular time, my mother used to write my auntie in Curacao and we used to send for things. So anyhow, what I did, I was taught to write a letter from an early age. So I used to write a note and put into the letter that my mother sent to my aunt to send. And I asked for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
They sent it to me. But to be saying that, all the agony I went through with that, it's only like 2 years ago. One of my sisters said to me, you know, Mary, I hated you. Understand, as a grown woman. I said, you hated me. And I said, why? She said, because I thought mom loved you the most. We all thought so. And she said to me, remember the doll that Auntie Alice sent to you? And the things that she gave you were destroyed and you didn't know who did it? I said, who did that and why? She said, it was me. I hated you so much. And for what? For what? Just because they thought I was a favorite. My mother had no favorite. She had none. You know, even before she passed away 2 years ago, she said to me, you know, Mary, I admired you. And I said, why? What happened? What did I do? She said, you know, when your birthday came along, I never had money to give you one, and you never got a gift. But yet the others used to get, and yet you never complained. You know, so, but I'll tell you one thing clear, I hurted a lot on that because knowing how my sisters felt. And as I said, it's only 2 years ago that pain was released. So please don't, I beg parents not to do that to their kids. Maybe they have a favorite one, but don't tell the others. Don't let them see that because that hurts.
Thank you so
And
very
that is
much.
what I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution.
Watch. They have to stop doing this. I'm tearing up here, because it happens to a lot of household and a lot of families. And when you tell your story, when you actually tell your story and people hear what it is that you bring forth, it it leaves us as parents in a in a guilty in a guilty manner, because a lot of us are guilty of doing just what Mary just said. Just. And sometimes the one that sits in the corner and not give any trouble whatsoever, this is the one that's going to be the favorite of the mothers for real, because the rest of them are putting demands on the parent for something. It's like a child going to school and they see the other classmates and so have the latest bag, the latest Nike shoes and so. And we go into a little Converse. Although Converse is a nice shoe and everybody has. You go to Converse, but the Converse is just an ulcer. You want a Nike, you want Jordan splitting his legs so on top of these shoes and so. And you go home and your parents ask you, well, school is coming back September. We have to go shopping. What shoe would you like to go to? Oh, mama, I want a feeler. Well, I can't afford a feeler. Well, how come we cannot go feel and this one John has one and this one has that? They put you under pressure. Sometimes you don't have the money. You go and you borrow the money to buy for the child, spoiling that child right there and then, and you don't know because you don't want to disappoint them. But let me tell you, disappointment makes you a better person in this life. Because when you are disappointed, you have to ask your question, well, why didn't mom give me this? Or why didn't that? It's not that we have it and we hold it from it, it's because we don't have. And by doing that, if you have other children and they have to get the Converse and I get the Jordan, this is where it starts again. That mom likes him more. She wants to buy the shoes. She borrowed the money to buy the shoes for him. And we have to go to school with that Converse. Parents, us, we, them, take note. I am not doing this for myself. I'm not bringing this. I didn't write this thing for myself. Studies and research has shown that this is what's going to happen when we as parents do those things. 2 years ago, Mary Payne was released. 2 years. Mary must be in her whatever age. And that went through all her life with her sisters and so. But I say kudos to that sister that felt guilty enough right now to tell her how much she hated and why she hated her. I say kudos to her because she could have gone on to the great beyond with that inside of her. But you know why? She had to say it. It was bothering her conscience. Because right now they are close. And now she's seen that Mary is not the kind of person that she thought that she was growing up. So she had to let it out. She couldn't go home with that. It's eating her alive. So Mary, thank you for sharing the story. And I know there are a lot of us that has those stories. Let it out. Today's confession for the soul day as parents.
404-1189.
You get it. But we're going to take a commercial break and we shall be right back. I mean, I don't know, it is tough this morning. Tough.
5, 4, 3, 2. Are you looking for that one local supermarket where you can purchase all your grocery and household items at the same time? Well, look no further. Smart Buy SA Belfin and Company Limited, located at the top of the town on Main Street, St. Patrick, is the ideal spot. They're open Sunday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturdays, and 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Sundays, just for your convenience. Call them today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. We're shopping snacks at Snack Buy.
At Sugar's Repair Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473-418-1845. Sugar's Repair Services, located at Lower Marley, St. Patrick.
Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.
Welcome back to Take 5 with CJ, Jester, and we have a guest today in Roya Charles Alexander. We have people with a lot of movie star name, the high end. You have Claire Joseph Francois. You got Roya Charles Alexander. You got Faithlin Harley Douglas. What more do you want, Jester?
Okay.
Yes.
You have some no. Going back to the
Yes, we're going back. We're going back.
There are some parents, they love a child so much.
Mm-hmm.
That child will cause them to go to hell, but yet still, you know, they will go to the far end of this universe to ensure that they try to make them as comfortable as possible, even if what that child does is to the detriment of that parent. I've seen that happen in many instances.
So, someone makes a comment. She says, that's why I'm saying we have to be very careful. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. No favorites. Kudos to you. No favorites. But I'm going to hold that one back. No favorites. That's it. Stick with it, no favorites. So here it says, when parents admit, when parents do admit to having a preferred child, research suggests birth order plays an important part in who they favor. According to the same YouGov survey, parents who admitted having a favorite child showed an overwhelming preference towards the baby of the family, with 62% of parents who have two children opting for the youngest. 43% of parents with three or more children prefer the last born, with a third selecting a middle child and just 19% leaning towards the eldest. Dr. Vihejiti Singh, a clinical psychologist at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City, she says that if favoritism towards a youngest child is often to do with the social and emotional skills associated with birth order. As parents gain more practice in child rearing, they have a better idea of how they want to shape the offspring's childhood and what attributes are more important to pass on. Joanna says, I could write a book on why I love one more than the other. It's been hard, but I haven't got any guilt. She says that again. So there's no guilt there. So what you're saying, parents do admit that they love either the first child, the last child, the middle one got you know, if you have two, you like the last one more. So my daughter, the golden boy, is not. Let's go. Don't say that about just my golden boy, because you do not know who it is that I favor. Because I have no favorites really and truly, I send them both to the school of hard knocks. I give them both tough love. If they do something, tough love. I'm not going to make one feel, well, I do this and Marx didn't go through that, and now I am going through that, or you're doing this for Can and I didn't. No. Same tough love. And according to her, she says, well, I'm not stupid. When I see what Malcolm goes through, I have to change my ways early because I know I'm getting it. I said, smart girl. Smart girl. So, yes, so we as parents really and truly have to know what time it is when it comes to our children. And it says, some of us like our younger children. And again, I think too, when parents like the first child, it's because that is the only child they have at the moment in their life. 2 years down the road, another one come. But that bond already was established with you and numero uno. No number two come. Oh yeah, well number two, we love them, we give them the care and so. Number three come. Well, that is the last. So middle one, you were like Wednesday. You're in the middle of everything. So you take you got
most of the time they tend to favor either the first one
or the last.
or the last.
And then you have to middle getting there. middle fighting to get it, to make it. And that causes children to have competition against each other. It's who could do better to get mommy and daddy's attention. And some of them will even subject themselves to lying on each other to get the attention. And we as parents, again, if Brian come and say to me, Claire, if you see what Jester do me, I do Jester nothing, Jester pinch me. I just happen upon Jester blows without even asking Jester, well, what happened between you and Roya? Why did you pinch Roya? That's again where favoritism coming big time, because we're not asking a question. Let me tell you, I've learned to play doctors on both sides with those two that I have. Because they'll come and tell you this one do this and that one do this, and you're in the middle and you're like, well, why did you pinch your sister? Why did you do that? When you do find out, it's because you did something to her. That's why she react, and then you pinch her, and I catch you pinching. So is them what? So we have to be balanced about this.
Claire, while we're on that, I just want to send out a special love for children that I know had suffered because of the number of children that the parents had, but because they have been the firstborn, the opportunities was denied. And for example, educationally, they couldn't get to go to school because they had to stay and take care of the other children. My heart goes out to these sort of people who suffer in that vein.
And let me tell you something. They were sacrificed. They were the sacrificial lamb for the rest of the children, right? But guess what? If the children are not grateful and they know, unless the parents didn't tell them the story, but if they are not grateful and say, well, Cynthia did her best to look after me. Let me be nice to her, be grateful to her. They turn it back and say, oh, you can read. Oh, you dumb. Oh, you dunce. You don't see, you ain't get nothing. They're not even thinking that I was the sacrificial lamb so that you can succeed.
And you know what tend to happen most of the time because of that first born of the parents, they tend to get quite a number of smack around, like hard blows because you know the parents expect them to do certain things to assist the younger children, and they're a child in coming up and they may not get things right and they get tongue lashes, man. So I'm telling you, it really, really wasn't easy from some of these children having to go through that.
And I think every family had that in the olden days of one child being that person, the older one, to look after all the siblings and not get thanks. Some do get thank you. I remember Kenro gave a story that she was that person. She had to look after her sister, and then the sister turned back and cussing and tell her all kind of wrong things. So it can really, really hurt somebody's heart when they know they cannot read fluently or they're not very literate when it comes to things that are going on around them. Even now, there are a lot of parents that has children, and the cell phone that we all take for granted that each and every one of us could use because of the day and age that we live. There are parents that cannot even make a call without calling one of the children or set up the number for them and hear what we get in. Well, I told you that last week. Why you don't do it this week? Listen, I bring you in the wall, I'm taking you out. Come and do it for me right now.
Another thing, what I've realized, the amount of abuse and leaks and you used to get from your parents. I don't know if it's the era, because of the era, the change in the era. It's like some things that this generation getting away from, things that they're getting away with. Before, like back then, before you squeak or you speak to somebody, so sometimes I wonder what happened. What happened? What happened to that same parent?
They get soft.
Yeah.
Or they tend to look at the children that are coming up now. Because let me put it that way for you. You know the children that are coming now, they're really, really smart, eh? Like they're born with something with a tablet in their hand. They're born with something. And a lot of us as parents, we tend to let the TV and the tablets babysit our children. And that, again, could cause a lot of chaos. You may have one tablet in the home. You have 3 children that needs that same tablet. But guess what? You give one. Here's that tablet, play with it. I'm in the bank there. Can I get a ton? But you don't see I'm using it. Leave him alone. You don't see him using it. Leave him alone. You never get a ton. So again, there, rivalry starts and animosity starts. Because it's every time. And if you give me the tablet to play 5 minutes and she come, oh mom, just have the tablet, I want to say, give it to her. That is so unfair to any child whatsoever. I've seen situations, I used to babysit in Toronto, and they have one thing, and the little boy, because he was the last, His sister couldn't play with anything. He had something else playing, and the minute he see her pick up something, he cried, Mom, can I think? I was watching bad eye left, right, and center. I was just waiting for the parent to leave the house, and I said, You, just leave her alone. But I said, about me, about nothing. You had your toy playing with. I said, either you share it with her or you don't get it at all. But when mom came, I said, tell her I don't care. And when the mother came, well, Claire wouldn't let me play it, and I explained to her, I said, let me say this to you. I said, he's not mad, and I'm not trying to make him mad. I said, but there are things that he does. When his sister has something playing with, he has his own, and he wants to take it away from her. I said, that cannot be fair to her. And she's like, Alexander, we had that talk, but they had this nice talk. Alexander, you shouldn't. No, step up on it. You don't interfere with your sister when she has something. Because it's all about sharing. And they say sharing is caring. So care for your sister, care for your brother, and let them have it. And we as parents that say, oh, give it to her because they asked for it, we don't know what kind of monsters we are creating. Because we grow up right through our lives, taking things away from people that we want. And sometimes we take the wrong thing. And where do you think we end up? In the jail or in the cemetery. We have a lot on our plate as parents. We do. But that cannot stop us and should not stop us from trying to do the right thing among all our children. It says children grow up in families where they feel less. Let me see. Because though parents do often have a favorite, many are racked with guilt, knowing that showing a preference will have a long lasting impact on the child's sense of self worth. The concern is not entirely unfounded. Children who grow up in families where they feel that they are treated unfairly may experience a deep sense of unworthiness, says Singh. They might feel that they are unloved in some way or do not possess the special traits and characteristics needed to be loved by others. Feeling like the black sheep of the family can lead to fears and insecurities. Children might become self protective and try to be overly nice and agreeable around others. And this is where people take advantage of those children because they're trying to please everyone around them to be accepted. What your parents is not giving you, they're looking for it outside.
Yeah.
And that could be dangerous. That could be very dangerous because the people that you're going to for the love may give you more love than you need.
And I think that's one of the reasons for a lot of the unwanted pregnancies and so forth.
It is breaking my heart to talk about this today, I'm telling you. But we have to talk about the hard and uncomfortable conditions because if we don't, none of us is going to make a difference in our lives and the lives of our children. Most parents, their worries are misplaced. Evidence suggests that unless preferential treatment is very extreme, most children are not impacted by being the least favorite child. Sometimes parents are blatantly obvious in their demonstration of love and affection, says Sin. But when parents are mindful and thoughtful and do their best to ensure any feelings of closeness is likability factor aren't plain and clear, then children don't feel unworthy of their parents' love and support. In fact, in most cases, children might not even know that their parents prefer their sibling in the first place. In one study, when people who stated that the parents had a favorite child were probed, a staggering 4 out of 5 claimed that their sibling were favored over them. A similarly improbable statistic. Other studies have shown that children incorrectly identify who the favorite child is more than 60% of the time. Of course, it is possible that parents are doing a much better job of disguising their preferences than you would expect. Or, as Griffin suggests, we're simply very bad at guessing who the favorite child really is. Although you might think that children instinctively know whether the parent has a favorite child and who that child is, the data is surprising, she says. Children might assume that the firstborn or the baby of the family is a favorite, or the child who is an overachiever in the family and causes less parenting stress. Whereas, in actuality, the parent might have different and varied reasons for the favoritism, such as favoring the child who struggled the most, or the child that is most similar to them. Need I say more? So there's a lot of variables why parents shows favoritism to their children. But the one that is there, and we talked about it earlier, is a child who struggles the most. And that parents want to bring that child up to speed, so they show them a little more care and a little more love. But children guessing all over the place. Brian is the first, she's the one that my mom likes. Just as the last, he's the one that my child likes, like my mom likes. But that does not have to be the case because parents now has become pro at disguising who that child is, that favorite child is. But again, I say body language cannot hide forever. It's going to come out.
Yeah, some of my child might born with some kind of health issue, and quite obviously, a child have to get so much more attention and caring, and so there are certain genuine um, situation whereby that parent will have to give more attention to.
Mm-hmm. So, phone number 404-1189. Call us. We need more input. And I know guilt is eating a lot of us. When you sit down in your home there and you're saying, I shouldn't call because I don't want to say it. This is the first step to making the change in how some of us, our children are grown and gone. But that doesn't mean that the impact of what we did doesn't affect them. And when they have their children, they tend to pass it on for one or make that 360 or the 180. They said, I've been through this. I'm not going to put my children through that.
Yeah.
So I am going to do my best to treat them differently and treat everybody equally.
Yeah.
And this is where we have to start. Break that chain that had us locked in and showing favoritism to that one child or to two children and not the one. Sometimes we have families and genes cause that. You may have 3 children and gone far, far, far away down the road. I come out nice with my mocha, cappuccino, and so nice dark skin shining because my black is healthy. One may come out a little bit like me, so right now with a little thing, and then there is one that come out really fair, like yes, and that parent treats that child better than the other two because of the color of their skin.
Yeah.
Martin Luther says, let's not go there. Let's not do that. The color of our skin shouldn't make us be treated differently. We are all created under the image of Jehovah, the God that created all of us, that made us, that we are all wonderfully made. It doesn't matter what color skin you are, you bleed the same blood, red. And parents have to stop this. And this is happening a lot. They could do anything. And because that child is so fair, she's not even going outside and play for ants to bite her, so she could get a little bump on her skin. Whereas the others, I tell you all inside, they go outside.
Right, not just complexion alone, even type of hair.
Well, yes. But there are red people, bad hair. Yes. And we're talking about all of this that we as parents do.
But you see, that thing come from way back to, when you talk about the skin color and the favoritism, because they used to look at it in a way that my child is on her skin color, she could get a work in a bank. But you're black, they don't want black to be in the bank. They don't want you, like.
But it starts even from slavery.
Yeah.
Because the master, as a thing, if you're like a fear thing, you're walking inside. If you're black, you're staying outside. And if you're white, well, here, that is prime person to have babies with. Yes. So it stems from there. So what I'm saying, we have to break that mental cycle of treating the children differently, our children differently because of the color of the skin and the hair.
Yeah, and as we talk about with the master and so forth, that favoritism issue started with them because they treated the persons with lighter skin color differently from the those with our melanin and so.
Yes, but I love my mocha. Because guess what? Good morning to you, Deborah Laborde. Thank you for checking in. I love my mocha. You know what? Working in Toronto, and when summer comes, and I'm out there with no tan lotion or anything, and when the white people see you, they say, "But oh, I wish I had skin like you. You look at you glowing." And I said, "I know."
Well, you don't know what you're talking. Let's move on.
No, because they can't stay in the sun for long without burning Jester if they don't use things to protect them. But when you see, they could be 30 and you're 50, but wrinkles galore at that age. Because you got that? The thing in our skin, the pigment and the melanin, we have that going on. God had us covered when He gave us that.
Yeah, them other people come and
Well, no, with the skin. Well, I mean, it's obvious. When
the kind of shaping we could take in truth as
when
black. Yeah.
and you want to tell me what
I was just kicking it.
because when we walk in the sun and we're there and our skin had this at the age I am, I should be wrinkling all over and have cold feet all by years. So, but you see, my skin is a foot or less.
So what's it flawless?
What's really happening in
Because think so. Parents has to know that even though, and it's true what I'm saying, it may sound bad, but it's true that even though you have 3 children, and the one that is really fair, you have favoritism with them. When they reach a certain age, you're starting to see the wrinkles quicker than what you see in the other two, And it's no joke. It's been proven and I've seen it. You want them and under the neck like you talk, they're going global, global, global. But it's true. They get older than the rest of us that is dark skin and have the, what do you call it, the melanin? And the thing. So, and after they say, here the parents. But what happened to you? They're asking them what happened to them. That was the favorite child that had the nice skin and that child, because you treat that child like that earlier in their life, they will go on stepping on people as they go along in life. Because guess what? It started from inside the home that you make me believe that I'm better than people that has darker skin than me.
Excuse
What did I say that is wrong?
me. Nothing. Nothing.
That's true. So you have to, as it says, you have to love all your children. I'm going to the soap now. All my children in the days of our lives. We have
Well, kill me and it's money.
we we have to. Because guess what? When we are bold and beautiful, there's nothing to stop us from being who we are. Because if you're going to marry or not marry and think that you want children or you want a child, and you're going to treat that child that way, don't ask, don't have. Because there are people out there that really want to parent a child, that have all the love in the world to give that child, and they cannot have a child.
Yeah.
And then there are those of us that are blessed with them, and we treat them like pariahs. We have to stop. And it starts and ends with us. No one else but us. It starts and ends there. So, next says, in the majority of cases, children, I did that already. Children should believe this. Oh no. Children have no idea which sibling the parent or parents prefer. Griffin agrees that it's perfectly okay and even expected for parents to have favorites, and that parents shouldn't feel guilty if they find themselves feeling closer to one child over another. She says that although children who believe they are the least favorite child, tend to have lower self-esteem and higher rates of depression, in the majority of cases, Children have no idea which sibling their parents or parents prefer. Perhaps who the favorite child really is isn't so important after all. Tell that to the child that is not getting the love from that parent. Tell them that it's not important who the favorite person is in that family. Tell that child that. And then come talk to us and tell us that it doesn't matter. It matters left, right, and center. Because if you're always feeling left out of what is going on around you, animosity like no tomorrow is going to build. Mary Collin gave us her 2 cents on it. Her sister hated her because she got things from her aunt. But the question is, did her sister ever write a note and ask her aunt if you could send me this? Mary took the initiative and did that. And this is why she got whatever she wants. So if we are not asking for things that we want and somebody else get it, question yourself. Well, how did Mary get? Ask Mary. Mary, well, how did you get that $1.09? Well, I wrote to Auntie when Mom was writing, and I asked her. Don't hate me for things that I didn't do intentionally.
Yeah.
Don't, because, and let me tell you. Remember Galba?
Yeah.
Remember his loss? He lost.
Yeah.
He became a clock
Your brother.
because of a watch. Somebody sent him a watch, and the brother was a little bit green with envy. He wanted the watch, and well, the watch wasn't for him. He cut out in my hand.
That's the reason I never knew the reason why.
That's extreme.
And it can be extreme. You have sibling rivalry is no joke, and we shouldn't take it that simple because they will do anything on planet Earth to get what they want and where they want to go. And we as parents have to start seeing the signs early. You can tell a child that is going to be a problem for you in the family, you know.
Yeah.
You can actually see it because he's always complaining about something, seeking attention, complaining about the brother and thing. And if they do nothing, they make up a lie and say, oh, Jester did that. So now Jester wasn't even there.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We as
or they might misplay something and you can't remember where they put something and you will blame the other child.
And we as parents didn't even stop to ask, well, did you look in your room under the bed? Did you look in the bathroom? Did you look anywhere? We jump up. Give your brother anything back if you take it and you hide it. That's where we go wrong, all of us.
Yeah.
We don't question things. We ought as parents to question our children when they're saying things because we consider mischief in them. Sometimes I've seen it. I grew up in a home where everybody, everybody there, and they go and they make mischief on you. And when I have to put myself on camera to that, when they see and they'll get blows, they do that.
They
Or
make a mockery of
they do that to you because what? I get what it is that I wanted.
Yeah.
You get blows, and nothing happened to me. They believe me. But how long? How long? And is it only your parent that you have to deal with for the rest of your life? Answer that question as parents. Am I the only one that my children have to deal with for the rest of their lives? I could be dead and gone tomorrow, and they will suffer.
Yeah.
You know why they would suffer? Because I did not put them on the right track to life and to let them know that the world does not revolve around you.
Yep.
Oh, no, the world does not revolve around you. It revolves at a point. It revolves around other people also. So when you sit there and say, oh, I'm going to get a job and they're going to treat me right because my mother says and my mom says and my dad says, who cares? They're not here now. What mom says and what dad says is not important when you go to the workforce and they give you a task to do and you tell yourself, I'm not doing that because mom said I'm not supposed to do that because I'm going to get hurt and it's going to take. Well, honey, you're going to sit on the sidewalk and beg.
Or be self-employed.
Exactly. And sometimes self-employed doesn't take you where you're going fast. And a lot of young people these days that the parents never gave them the start to start looking for a job earlier, to start doing things. They want to make the money and they want to make it fast. And whatever job they go to, the money is never enough. They don't have the qualification that it takes to get the job that they want with the pay that they want. But because mommy and daddy make me feel that I could get anything that I want, this is what we're facing in this world today. And it affects everybody worldwide because there are a lot of us out there like that.
Very true.
Parents, parents,
take heed.
Take heed. Do not spoil our children so that people will see them and say, "Oh, that is Mr. Noel's son. You don't say nice and fair."
Maybe attitude.
And attitude, attitude don't always have to be bad. You could have good work attitude as well as you could have bad work attitude. And it's the bad one that displays itself more than anything else. If you have good attitude, you will establish yourself. People will see you and say, "You see that daughter of Jester? She's a beautiful girl in all ways and forms that you can think about. She's helpful. She does not look down at people.
Yes.
They give you all the good. I mean, I'm not saying that about your daughter. Just know that.
Probably if everybody had an attribute, we have really, 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 really good people in society.
Yes. But again, it's how we as parents start off with our children. And mind you,
Actually, from a very early age, because I've seen children going in the supermarket or so with their parents, and they would take something off, just go and take something off the shelf and bring it, put it in the basket, I'll pay for it, and you're not even thinking, we just can't leave home. You just eat something. You don't need that right now. Or you will speak to the child and say, "Well, you know what? I'm going to get it for you, but you're not eating it now. You will get it later." We just, they want it, so
give
you
it
could
to
have
them.
it.
And this again, it is amazing because I don't want to beat the parent. Honestly, I just want to up on them and just beat them up. Because I'm saying your child is now the parent and you become the child. The child is ruling what is taking place with you. You are supposed to be the one that is guiding that child. And if you just let the child start taking things, you think it's going to stop when you go outside?
Of course not. I've seen this thing happen. You know, certain chances my little son will take with his mom. He will dare not try that with his.
Yeah, yeah,
And they know,
it is true.
they know who to.
Yes, they know to manipulate. They do. And that's it. I've seen children. Let me give you a thing. When my daughter was about 4, she likes Tweety Bird. And I think all know she likes Tweety Bird because I put blows on her inside the store. She loved Tweety Bird. So we are going to Sears. And I know they have Tweety Bird because I saw it. We are going in there. And I said to her, "We are going to the store. You see Tweety Bird? Just pass him, wave him bye-bye." Oh, I told her. Well, that went by here, so I'll go that way. So when we get to the store at Sears, we went to the department where they have Tweety Bird. We had to pass it to get where I'm going. I said, "Mommy." I said, "Yes." "Tweety Bird." I said, "I know, I see." I said, "Let's go." She stood there, Jester. Tears. She ain't moving and I can't move her. And when I see her, she start to bawl. I wet her with 2 slaps and I says, "Move it." A lady says, "You hit her." I said, "My child, mind your business."
But criminal.
No, I said, my.
She was in back street.
Huh?
She was in back street.
No, no. You see, the thing is, we as parents, we have to know when to hold it and when to let go. If I didn't want her and I spring it on her inside the store, "You cannot have it," that was a different. She had no right to cry because she has toys at home.
You told her.
She told me before. She was forewarned. I forearmed myself, so I forewarned her. I went away to stop. "Let's go.
Move it.
Move it." And she come to I said, I'll stop it now.
Sweet.
Yeah, yeah. Because she had no reason to cry for Tweety, but because she has a little Tweety, but she want the big one. Tweety, I'm not telling you Tweety pretty with that little red thing in the mouth.
Tweety bird.
Tweety bird.
So,
You know Tweety bird with Sylvester and Tweety?
when she come out, call her Tweety.
People call it because she made somebody carve a wooden Tweety bird for her. She has it behind me on the wood, but she loves Tweety bird. So what I'm saying this to say that if I had just let her have Tweety bird, that didn't stop her from asking for anything else when she go to the store.
Yeah.
Because she knows if she cry tears, mom is gonna get soft and give me what I want. And that a lot of children use tears to manipulate their
Why
children.
them old people used to say when they don't kick you,
Get back.
right?
Right there. If they bite me, bite them back. They feel the bite. Yes. And this is where we have to start training our children not to have everything that they want. You give them what they need. And when they do something good, you give them whatever it is that they want. And that alone is going to put you on the right track with your children.
Yeah, you reward them so they look forward to.
Instead of giving them everything that they want every time.
So they know if they do something well, then possibly
They get a reward. There's a guy, he died now. They used to call him Bob Jones. He went to McDonald College. They used to call him Junior. And I'll tell you where you know him. You see when you're in Paradise around the rungs about there, if you're heading towards, what do you call that place where they build that bridge again? Seymour? Right. There's that big grey house. As soon as you leave the rungs about going that way, after the upholstery shop, there's a big grey house there. That guy, father was filthy rich for somebody that lives in here. According to his Canadian, and he had all money. He left that house for that kid. He left a car. He had everything that he wanted. They used to call him Bob Jones. Everything. That boy squander money left, right, and center. Everybody. Who have a car driving? Who stayed in the house without rent, without pay, without anything? He had it all. He became an alcoholic. He drink, he drunk. He drunk, he drink. He drink more, he drink less. He drink, he drink. Finally, he died. And my point is that when we as parents have children, and I don't know if he had more children and he gave them anything, but I know about him because he used to go to school in McDonald College. When older people couldn't get a car to drive, that guy had car driving to and from school, because he had his father had it.
Easy come, easy go, man.
Excellent. My point exactly. When you do not work for things and you get it just like that, you have no gratitude towards the things that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard about an instance where this guy went to school in St. George's, and his mother used to give him everything, everything, and she died. He's a vagrant on the street right now because he don't have nobody to give him.
And she
Going to school with
teach
the
him.
going to school with the latest shoes and the latest bag. He go with the latest bag, no books in the bag.
How is that possible?
He's a vagrant now.
And that's it. You see, and there's a good thing about being poor, you know. When we're poor and we have to pray for our next meal,
We appreciate it.
we appreciate it way more than if you just say, here it is. According to one man, I was watching TV one and a talk show, and he said children now, they have cornflakes, bran flakes, snowflakes, all kind of flakes. And they look in the fridge or they look in the pantry, there's nothing to it. And you know why they do that? Because we give them everything and options. When my grandmother used to cook callaloo soup with saltfish in it, and I hate nobody ever on planet Earth ever give me food, saltfish, peas. What do you call that again? Callaloo soup, pumpkin soup, pea soup with saltfish. I'm killing you all clean. Don't give me that. Because when they used to give you callaloo soup and you don't need to get the saltfish, the taste of the saltfish you're getting in the soup. I used to hate that. And when she's going to say, I don't want it. She used to tell me, sit on your backside and watch it.
But you know, back then, saltfish was a thing that was looked down upon,
Well, maybe I didn't look on it, and I didn't know.
For the middle class and the upper class, it was chicken, the drumsticks and the legs and thing. To them, that was the healthier thing to be eating.
Yeah.
Little do they had known back then.
Here's a comment. When we say so true about what children do, my last child did not get what he wanted. He used to say to me, "Why don't you treat me like the last child?" I answered, "I do not know how to do that." To treat it like the last child, how is the last child treated? You're supposed to treat it like any other child, the same way. And you see, I always say to people when I see them, just spoiling the child, and I look at them and they see how I look at them and like, what? And I'm nothing. If it's you, I will say to you, Roya, don't do that. Cut out on her. Because I could say that to her because we're close. I could say that to you. But other people, I don't want them to take out my clothes on me and put it back on me. You understand? Because they are going to feel it later on down the line. Because when you let your children do anything and you favor them so much, and they see the latest come out, belly outside, this outside, that outside, and you have nothing to say. And when they turn back on you,
Yeah, parents cause children to resent them later on. A lot of parents cause that. A lot.
a lot.
A lot.
Let's say it again, a lot. And this is why we are doing what we are doing today. So we're coming down to the wire. It says, she says, no less lovely, right? Okay. Griffin has found that the favorite child conundrum has shown up in both her professional and personal life. Her three children constantly joke about who the favorite child must be. Although she recommends parents or children who find that favoritism is affecting their relationship or mental health should speak to a pediatrician or a mental health provider, she believes most imbalances can be addressed with simple tactics that demonstrate care and attention. Griffin says that although parents might not readily admit to favoritism, they certainly won't be alone if they find themselves feeling closer to one child over another. Most mothers and fathers have favorites, and that's okay. There are going to be days when we prefer to be around one child over another for a number of different reasons, she says. The important thing to remember is that having a favorite child does not mean that you love your other children less. And that is the point we were bringing up earlier. You don't love them less, but you do have a favorite. But the most important thing is do not blatantly show that child that he is over the rest. Be subtle about it or be diplomatic about it, as Lorna said her father was diplomatic. Be diplomatic about it. Show everyone if you're going to buy something or buy things and bring over for your children, buy 4 if you have 4 children. And buy the same thing. You might buy different colors, but it's the same thing. So no one can say, "Oh, mom, buy this one. Why you buy a helicopter for me and you buy that little piece of car for me?" In that kind of thing.
Especially if you have to deal with identical twins. You have to be very careful about that. Make sure you buy 2 of the same thing.
Same color, similar, like
Yes,
optics, the identical. Yes, because it can cause a lot of chaos in that thing.
But
And
in general, you're supposed to treat all
of them by this.
If you even want to treat one, you treat
all or don't treat any.
You're right.
Or none at all. If you have one toy and all of them fighting over it, the best way to solve that problem, take it away. No one is getting it. That way, none of them could say, "Oh, mom's showing favoritism to John and she's not showing it to Jerry." And she's no, because if you take it away, no one has it. Find other things to play with than that one toy that is causing all the confusion in this house. We have to, parents, I am a parent. No, I'm not a parent. I am a parent.
I am a parent.
A parent.
Are you a parent?
A parent.
He is a parent. You have an S, you do double roll. Yes, 3 of us sitting here, we are parents. And if we did not learn anything today about how we should treat our children, then we are ahead of made of rock stone and cobwebs. Because all that is research is showing is that yes, it is okay to have a favorite child, but it is wrong on all counts to show that child that he is the favorite child. Regardless of the color of their skin, the texture of their hair, or whatever it is, treat them the same. And no one is saying that you know, your first child, you may love your first child a little more because you had that bond with them before. But you shouldn't show the second one that, hey, the first one is the one that I like. The second one has to be right there gelling.
But you know,
with the first one.
relatives and people on the outside normally putting things in children's head to say, I don't find him mother like you. I find she treating that one better than you. I find that one.
Then you know
You
what?
know that they putting things in
It
the
does
children.
happen.
It does happen a
Yeah,
lot.
it does
You
happen.
as the parent, call them and fix them. Because you see what they are
You know,
creating chaos
Yes, they're
in your
creating chaos
family.
on the outside,
Yes.
right? They're creating so, but the thing about it is, the child may not get it from the inside, but you know, like they kind of
They're feeling that they're thinking it now.
right?
Yeah, and they're coming home.
They kind of molding from the.
We have one call. Good morning. Mason,
I'm a distant.
hello?
Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am good.
Good. Sorry, I had a late start this morning. This is a really, really good topic you're having today. And my question to you is, what do you say to children?
Jen?
Yes, what do you say to children who their parent, single parent, makes all the sacrifices for them and give them everything within her power, but now they turn their back on the parent?
Okay. We have 2 minutes to answer this. Are you finished?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. What do you say to the parent? What do you say to the children? I'm putting it out there. Three of us has to answer that, and we have 1 minute left. We might be able to do the thing. Let's go.
What do I say to that child? You should change your attitude in that regard because knowing that your parents would have sacrificed so much for you, and I mean ungratefulness is not a good thing at all. It's actually a cost if you ask me. So you have to try to turn away from that cost. That is what I will say to them.
Well, I think they should have a conversation. Find out. Ask questions. Um, why the parent had to you know, as a single parent, why you had to, you know, go through so much a struggle to do certain things, because you know, some children, they just feel, you know, like the parents just find it. Find that thing, and they, you know, they just bring it, they just see things up here, and they don't even know what happens in the back. You know, and they don't really appreciate it because they don't know. So I think they should have a talk with their parents.
So, as a lot of us are single parents or were single parents, and as Jenny says, that parent do everything that they can to make their children and them survive or bring them into the world and give them everything that they need. And remember, we were talking about sometimes you have a pet child and you give that child everything, and in the end, when he comes back, they turn their back on you. Me personally, will say to that children are doing that. If you have children, do not expect the treatment to be better for you. Because if you turn your back on the person that bring you in this world, I gave you everything, and you turn your back on them, it's the Bible said it's an obligation for children to look after the parents when they're old and everything. So if you turn your back on the parent that is not able to do what they have to do now when they did everything for you, just remember, karma is a beautiful individual that creates havoc. And when karma comes for you, you would wonder what the heck hit you. You almost have to go back to yourself and ask, where did I go wrong? And if you treat your parent that bad, your children is not going to be any better in the treatment that they gave to you. And it's only comes around worse than when you let it go. And this is the end of our program today. It was an eye opener for all of us as parents. And I hope we learn one thing. One thing. Treat your children the best way you know how. Do not give them everything that they need, what they want. Give them what they need, and do not show favoritism blatantly. It might be subtle. It's okay to have a favorite child, but do not make the rest of them feel that they are not worthy of your love and attention. Thank you all so very much. And hopefully next week we'll have another program that will only benefit each and every one of us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.